Hi, my name's Mel. Now, I've done a lot of research on the internet to find out all the bits and bobs of information that I specifically was looking for, and I thought, well, perhaps it would be interesting for other starters like myself if I try and tell you as much of the information that I have found, tips and tricks, whatever. I decided to invest a little bit more in the compressor and the airbrush to make sure from the research I've done that especially for the compressor, just paying a little bit extra to make sure that I've got all the safety bits that's necessary, and that I'm not going to have to rush out in a year or so to buy a new compressor. And now this is a book that is highly recommended for beginners, but also for more experienced airbrushers. It's a great reference guide. I don't know if you can see that, but it's Radu Vero, apologies if I've pronounced that wrong, Airbrush, the Complete Studio Handbook. Anyway, very well recommended. Of course, there are lots of other books out there. Look online. I ordered this online, and look at the reviews. But from what I gathered, this is one of the best. The compressor. Now, the compressor I've bought here is, you can see it's like a two-tier thing. This underneath is an air tank. It's a 3-litre air tank, and that is pretty important because it means that the air gets put into the tank and it comes from the tank rather than being literally from it being compressed at the time through the pistons. So you're drawing on the air tank. It also means that the motor, if you like, isn't running all the time, because it turns itself off when the tank is full and will only start to regenerate when the tank gets down to a certain level and it starts to refill it. There is some noise. I'll turn it on. As you can hear, it's not that loud. So I don't have any problems with that whatsoever. It has an auto off. I would suggest you want one of those. The other important part of the compressor is that it has, this is a pressure gauge, and here is a humidifier. Now that catches the water droplets that are created through the compressed air, because you do not want water coming through your air hose and into your brush, because that will ruin any work you're doing. So this catches the water droplets created through the compressed air. I'm going to now try and get this up in close-up. Okay, here we are again in close-up. Here's the humidifier I was telling you about, where it catches the water droplets. This is the pressure gauge, and it will show in PSI. Now, from what I can gather, the lower the PSI you're using for very close-up fine work with a smaller needle, thinner needle, close-up fine detailed work. Usually something 16 PSI, 20 PSI, like that. As you go with up the needle sizes, so you get to maybe a 0.4 needle for 0.5, you can go up and they're talking about 30, 40 and 50 psi. As you can hear, this is actually now full, the air tank, but it stopped running, so as you can hear it's silent, but the tank is now full of air. This is now pulled up so that I can move this round. As soon as you push it down, it locks. You can't move that anymore. And so you can adjust your PSI so that you want it to, at the moment it's at 30 PSI. If I want to bring that down, then I've got to, there's a plus and minus on here, you turn it, lock it down, and it will fill the air tank up to that level. There is also, on the other side of this is also a valve that will open if for any reason, so there's no way the tank's going to explode on you. Turn this, let's zoom out again. And so that's your compressor. This one cost me, I don't know, about 100 and something odd euros. Again, say that's the cheaper end, but you can get them with just this top part, which is just the compressor part and stuff. So you want one with the tank, you want one with a gauge, you want one with all the safety features auto off, with your dehumidifier and obviously your regulator. and you'll be sorted. You've got different sorts. You've got gravity feed, such as this, which just means that the paint goes into the cup at the top, and by gravity it's pulled down into the pen.
Airbrush.
You've got the suction feed from underneath, which is screws on. Those tend to be ones that are used for people using larger volumes of paint, of bigger cups, and for people that are using doing textiles, t-shirt, airbrushing, etc., etc. So those are for underneath, and you can also get ones that apparently have a side feed, which this cup, as you can see, it removes, and it kind of sits on the side. Dual action simply means you press down for air, you can probably hear that, and you pull back for paint. There's no paint in this, by the way, obviously. So you pull back for paint, and that moves the needle inside, and the further back you pull, obviously the needle goes further back, it creates a bigger opening, and more air pushes more paint out. Simple, if you like, but then it's a difficult action to get used to. Air, paint. Okay, so this brush I bought, I spent a little bit more. This airbrush I paid about €70 for. It is actually the bottom end of a very good recommended. As I said, I did a lot of research at the time looking at this, and this is the Harder and Steinbeck. A German make. They have a very good reputation, and this is the Ultra, which is the lower model. This kit did originally come with an own make airbrush, so I decided to pay a bit extra to get this particular airbrush. Here's the air cable attached to the compressor. It's actually 3 meters long, so that's ample. If you want to stand up at an easel and you have your compressor on the floor, you're working standing up, that gives you plenty of cable to move around, no worries whatsoever. Okay, so that's the end of my first video for now. I'm going to carry on with some more in the second video. I want to thank all the amazing airbrush artists out there that I have gathered all this information from. I can't say names because I'll say some and forget some others, but really brilliant information out there. I've just put it all together into one package so that hopefully people like myself starting out have more of an idea, and then it's up to you to go and look into more detail of things, but it gives you a more of an overall picture. So thanks for listening, hope I haven't bored you, and yeah, see you soon, bye.